Welcome to our How to Make a Garden video. One of the first things that you'll see that you've seen in other videos are the lines that are straight across and the kids are measuring them with the tape measure. That might look familiar because those are the same skills that we used to help them build the bingo boards. So although it seemed like the bingo and the bingo boards were a separate skill and that didn't have very much to do with gardening, now you can see how learning to make straight lines and how to measure those lines comes in handy as we're building the sides for our first planter box. Katie is explaining how to properly and safely use a handsaw. We don't recommend every child using a handsaw, and we certainly would tell you only help children use handsaws with your close supervision. At the same time, I don't want you to feel like you should be discouraged from having kids use some of the tools. We have children with all different kinds of fine motor skills, and some children have the ability to be able to do it, but you'll notice that she's also asking kids to move away until she can safely demonstrate how to use the saw. One of the things that you'll notice as you do projects like this is the difference between making static trifold boards or something that is a science project that's not really active and engaging, is that kids are enthusiastic about doing these things because these are skills that they may see you with, but they don't have yet. And they're eager to try to learn how to do these skills with your careful guidance and help. Now we have all the pieces of our planter box all together. And that's cool because remember, we learned how to measure just this month.
Our board is an inch wide. So our screw is 1.5 inches. Our screw is 1.5 inches, so it will stick out that much into the next piece of wood, okay?
Now we can see kids have a practical application of fractions. Fractions are one of those topics that kids encounter they have so much trouble with, but making fractions come to life really changes the dynamic between their relationship with understanding that math skill and then actually being able to put it into work.
Find a drill. We need to find a drill bit that is smaller than the silver part of the screw, okay? It's closer. We're getting close.
Oh wow, there's more?
I would say
that one. Yeah,
I would say that one's probably pretty good. So that if we have a hole this big that we put in the wood, this will still bite. So the part that goes around, the part that holds the wood, is called the threading. So the threading is what's wrapping around and catching onto the wood. So if there's already a hole there, then there's nothing for it to bite down on. It's like teeth. It's the teeth of the screw, right? So we want this size hole, not this size hole, okay?
It's too big.
It's too big, right? So we're gonna put that one away. We're gonna put this.
After teaching them how to use a handsaw carefully, now we can move into showing how to use a drill. How to put the drill in, how to change the setting, and how to back the drill out. Again, make sure that you never have children do these things by themselves. These are things that they can do under your close supervision, and this is just a video to give you some ideas of pointers and tips that you can use as you're helping them develop these skills for themselves. A great side skill that kids develop is the cooperative nature of building a planter box like this. If you have one child, your child can work with you, but if you have more than one child, if you have 2 or 3 children, someone has to hold the planter box while someone drills in. Someone can be in charge of putting the screws in while someone is in charge of the drills, and they can all take turns. This is a great way to help build that muscle of self-control and waiting your turn. And it's also a great way to build a rapport with people that you work with as you're working on a project. You all have to literally lift and pull together so that you can have a successful planter box build. Find the best place to put your planter box. We're lucky in that we have a lot of outdoor space, but you can help your child measure your space to see what size planter box would be appropriate. We have some links that can help you find some designs for planter boxes. You can use a big planter box or a small one. The first thing we want to make sure that we do is we put in the landscaping paper. That helps reduce the amount of sun that'll get to the bottom to prevent weeds from poking through and taking over our planter box. The next thing we did was add some organic mulch. This is actually fertilizer, and it has a little bit of animal manure in it so that we get a nice healthy base for our plants. Each of these materials can be found at somewhere like Home Depot or a local hardware store. And again, we'll have some links for places that you can buy these different items. All together, the whole cost, the total cost of this planter box, the wood, the bags of mulch and dirt, and then also the seeds was less than $50. And this is for a planter box that's 4x6. Of course, the smaller the planter box, the less the wood will cost. You can get planter boxes for as little as $10. So you see the different kind of seeds. Everyone can get an opportunity to put the seeds in. Once again, we are using our measuring skills because we want to make sure that the seeds are about 1 foot or 12 inches apart. One of the things that I love about this activity is that everybody, no matter what grade, no matter what skill level, can participate. If you have kindergartners who are just learning how to count up to 50 or 60, if you have a pre-K student who is learning number identification, this is an easy way to help them understand numbers and then build that relationship between numbers and how numbers actually work and function in everyday life. You'll need a lot of water for your seeds. We in San Bernardino, our temperatures can get up to 110, 115 degrees. So we tend to really put a lot of water on our plants. Make sure that you check on the seed package to make sure that you know exactly how much water your particular plants will need. It may not be as much, but at the end of the day, you'll have a beautiful garden. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell button to get notified every time we post a new video.